Welcome. I'm Stasha, the period coach, and I'm here to find out if you're truly interested in period coaching. I'm going to show you what coaching is, what period coaching is, from the beginning to the end, from menses to menopause, and everything in between. We're going to go through a lot of different stuff today, but I do want to let you know that this is more period coaching specific. So all of those things that can happen in our menstrual cycle from day one to the last day, and infertility, PMS, PMDD, PCOS, endometriosis, all of these things that can kind of go wonky along the way. If you already have a business, say you're a health coach or a business coach or relationship coach, and you want to start incorporating menstrual coaching, period coaching for your menstruating clients, yes, fantastic. I've made videos for you guys specifically, so it can be a little bit more on point for what you are, for where you are, for what your needs will be, that kind of thing. So you can feel free to check those out. You're also welcome to stay for today if you're a little curious. I hope you are, but you're also welcome to go straight to those videos. So today, let's kick off with the vision, what period coaching can be. You know, it's a brand new field of study. It's a brand new field in the world out there. Think about health coaching years ago. It's really just beginning. Now, I've been in it long enough that I can see where we're heading next. So let me share with you the vision for period coaching. What is period coaching as this idea going to do in the world? Well, A, relieve period problems. 90% of menstruators will have a hormonal imbalance at some point. That's basically everybody. So let's relieve that. That's huge. I mean, that's an enormous percent of the population relieving their problems, relieving their symptoms, relieving their discomforts and their pain and their traumas and all of that goes along with it. That's huge. Like that in and of itself is enough to I could retire if I could accomplish that, that's huge. We can fill the gap between doctor and patient. We can bring doctors on board, right? You have clients, you send your clients to their doctor for certain tests to talk about these different things. Their doctor is going to get interested and wonder what's going on here, and you're going to fill that gap between doctor and patient. You'll educate some doctors along the way. It's in and of itself an enormous gap. It's both wide and deep, and it needs filled. And Period Coaches is going to fill that gap. We're going to put more money in the hands of women. I mean this inclusively. There's been studies that showed that women getting money into their hands, it goes into the community. Women tend to spend their money on education, community services, things that build up the community. So I see getting more money in the hands of women as something that will transform the world for the better. It will transform on a community level, national level, global level. Which brings me to equality. There's no way that we can be equal if people who menstruate, who bleed, are seen as weak. There's this correlation that bleeding equals weakness and that makes menstruators less than. So we've got to change our perception of periods, and not just for us, but for everybody, which starts with us. And that's the only way we're going to get to equality. Girls' education. A lot of girls don't finish high school, and they don't finish high school because they start menstruation and then they can't go to school anymore because they can't afford products, or because it's too shameful, or because they're not okay, they're not well. It's a big problem. It's a lot bigger than you would guess, and it's not in a far-flung country. It's in your own backyard. We need to have girls' education be a priority globally. In fact, one of the non-for-profits that my business supports is a business that specifically gets menstrual education and products into the hands of girls so that they can go to school and graduate. Huge. It's a big deal. Green menstruation. We need to reduce the reliance on disposables and increase the reuse options. And if we switch the mentality, like we talked about earlier with equality, and we perceive periods as not a weakness, but actually pretty freaking rad and pretty powerful, we can get away from the blood is absolutely icky and disgusting, and if I have a reusable cloth pad, I'm going to disintegrate. It's not that bad. And actually, they've come a long way. So it's the second most disposed of product, disposable menstrual products, to diapers. It's not a little problem. It is an enormous problem, and it contributes to global warming because that's a lot of bio tissue that is being compressed in landfills and is contributing to CO2 and all the greenhouse emissions. It's just, we need to change it. And this is where period coaching comes in. The more we learn, the more we expand, the more we talk, the more we educate, the more people are going to jump on board the green menstruation train, and the better we as human beings will be for it. Because, the planet, we need the planet. The planet doesn't need us. We need the planet. Okay. If we're out there advocating to our clients and with our clients and for our clients and for ourselves, we are going to get more research. Doctors are going to request it. My patients are coming in asking questions, and they know that these studies are done on non-menstruating men, right? I need more studies. Schools, universities, more people will grow up with a period coach in their lives and graduate and want to work in research and development. More people will advocate for research, and more funding will go to research of menstruation and all of the problems that go along with it. So we need to push for research, and then as we get research, we as a global community of period coaches need to help share that research, get it around, help each other stay on top of things. So the research is really a two-way street, and that's just globally. The more we advocate, the more research will be done, the more other countries do it, the more ours will, vice versa. So globally, it's going to have a huge impact. And this is where I want you to just take a minute and think about menstruation. Menstrual blood. Our initial reaction is disgust. It's taboo. But if you just take a moment and think of this as liquid gold, as full of wisdom and power and ability, and think about how the world would look if we did achieve those visions, if we did really, truly create a culture that embraces menstruation. There's just so much that we could gain from having period coaches out there in the world, doing this work and moving through it. Now, you're going to have challenges, right? So taboo. That's going to be a challenge that you as a period coach are going to have to deal with. People are going to think it's gross, at least for now. We've got to talk about it, end the grin and bear it feeling, like hiding what's going on with our cycles, and really embrace it and show how it can be used. So we need to get through that. We need to deal with the lack of research. There's not a lot of it out there. Like I said, part of this big vision is getting more research, but we do have a lack of research, and sometimes you're going to get really frustrated and stumped. I have endometriosis. It's a big part of why I'm here today. There is not a lot of research on it, and my endometriosis module for the school has a lot of these are our guesses right now on it. So that's fine. I'll redo it every time there's a new study, and we'll get there. But we do have to deal with lack of research, and that means helping and supporting each other again. Competition. We've got to stop competing with each other. There are 12 seats at the table. There's not just one seat for one woman. There are 12 seats at the table. We need to stop competing with each other for one seat. We need to start working together to diversify the whole table. All right? So knock it off with the competition, get into the collaboration. Isolation. This is a very forward-thinking career. You are moving into something that most people would be afraid of, and it can feel isolating from time to time. You can feel like you're yelling into the void. Just know that that can happen when you're a leader. It's sometimes lonely out in the front, and that's why getting rid of that competition mindset can really help you. Misinformation. Of course, there's a lot of misinformation about periods out there. What we consider normal, it's not really normal. It's just common. Common is not normal. So we do have to combat a lot of misinformation, and that's one of the hurdles that you'll be working to overcome. And of course, 90% of hormonal imbalance. That's a problem. It's hard to deal with that, and you yourself may have a hormonal imbalance. So you're working with people with hormonal imbalances. It can affect them in all kinds of ways. It can be trying. It's also one of the most fulfilling things. We'll talk about that later, but it can be a challenge, and you may have your own hormonal imbalances, which can be a challenge. So just keeping that in mind. Now, when you're working with your clients are going to have an end to symptoms, or maybe if you hire a period coach to deal with your own, this could also be you as a coaching client. You're going to end the symptoms which is going to create a lot of peace. It's going to just, your body will settle, you'll feel better, your stress hormones, all of the nervousness and anxiety, those kinds of things will start to settle down as your symptoms start to reduce or eliminate completely. So it does create a sense of peace in the body. Increased in confidence when you know your fertility, when you know I'm ovulating today, when you know tomorrow I'm not going to feel as awesome because my testosterone is going to come down. And that's not me being less than, it's just that this artificial influx of confidence is starting to flow out, and now I can move forward confidently because I understand what's happening in my body. I'm not wondering if I'm sick. I'm not wondering why I'm a failure. I'm not wondering what's wrong with me. I understand my hormones shifted, and then it's not a big deal. I can actually keep moving forward. It's going to improve their lifestyle just by learning all of these information, helping relieve any of their symptoms. It's going to improve the lifestyle. And most of my clients, all of my clients, I can't really think of a single client that didn't see some kind of spillover effect in their lifestyle. So improving relationships. I joke that I've never been technically a relationship coach, but I've saved marriages. It improves relationships. It's just what it does. So as it improves that relationship, it's communication. The more you know about your body, the more you understand what's going to happen today and what it's going to feel like tomorrow, the more you can communicate with other people, the better your relationships are. It's just X, Y, Z. It's really quite as simple as that. An end routine, create ritual. Instead of being in reaction mode, putting out fires all the time, you are in action mode, living the life that you want and creating the life that you want. Your clients are going to be able to do that. And they'll be less rote, mindless, just doing the same old without thinking about it. And they're going to be so much more present in a ritual mindset where they're present, they're making decisions based on their body and their flow and where they are today. Now for you, you're going to have some similar things. Lifestyle is going to be rad, right? You are going to be living a life in flow. You're going to be showing the world what it's like to live a life in flow. Your lifestyle is absolutely going to improve because of that, just like your clients. You're going to have to learn a lot about the menstrual cycle. So maybe not just whereas your clients get to learn theirs. You're going to learn a lot about a lot of different things that can go on in the menstrual cycle and what can go wrong. So you're going to have a lot more comprehensive knowledge on the menstrual cycle and the gateways into it, through it, and out of it. Support. We have community, right? You'll see community here and support. We have community, and out of community comes support. So we have community. I am always encouraging our students and clients to embrace the community, to be chill and cool and come from a place of love and respect and empathy, and have that supportive community, because when you start talking about periods, you're usually the weird one in the room. So it's nice to have a community of people that you can go nerd out and have fun and just be understood in. But you also need support, whether that's a mentor, a coach, a period bestie, somebody who really gets you and what you're doing and supports you in a capacity. It could be a professional capacity, and I highly recommend at least a mentor or a coach or somebody. And it should be at a free capacity, like a period business bestie or something. So I really advocate for having as much support as you possibly can behind you. You're going to need it. You're going to want it. And of course, you'll have a business in flow. Whether you're cycling or not, maybe it's moon cycling, that's okay. But you're going to have a business that's in flow because it's going to be in that bigger picture. You're going to know that there's a time to work and there's a time to rest. You're going to know that there's a time to do visuals and graphics and a time to do talking and auditory. There's different times for different parts of your cycle, and you're going to know the superpowers of them, and you're going to be able to do that in your business so you will not have to be overwhelmed, burnt out, taken out. You don't have to go down that path that most business owners do because you'll know better right from the gate. So let's create flow, easy, lovely flow for everyone. Let's create freedom and independence because you're not reliant on other people, doctors, systems. You can use them and work with them, but you are a free person. Let's collaborate. Let's help each other. Let's promote each other's businesses. Let's promote each other's skill sets. Let's talk to each other, and let's do it in community. Let's bring people together and have conversations in public ventures and really be in community. Our blood is gold. And it's time we start treating it that way, and it's time to reclaim it. And of course, gold. Let's get some bling. Let's redistribute wealth. Let's reclaim what is ours, our blood, our power, our wealth, and let's bring it back together for everyone. And it is to everyone's benefit. So my visionary pioneers, and those of you at the forefront of this wide open field, this is a big field. I mean, we talked about that vision and I shared with you all of those different places. I mean, there's more than that, but those are the big ones. And it's a huge, wide open field. So if you want to create something that's new and unique, this is the industry to do it in for sure. There's infinite amount of niches. I mean, not only all the niches that I talked about so far, but you could even get more specialized. Maybe you specialize in Lyme disease and endometriosis, or maybe you specialize in diabetes and PCOS. You know, there's certainly complex issues that you can dive into even more. You can pull into, you know, there's just so many niches. You could be a PMDD coach through past life regression therapy. You could be a PCOS coach for psychics. There's just an endless amount of different ways to go about. And look, I'm all for science and woo. I've got no skin in the game. I think they all work really well. So whatever you love, you could knit uteruses and have an education menstruation class while everyone knits uteruses together. Like, there's just a billion ways to do this. You can do a lot with it. Again, community, it's going to come up every time because it's just so important and it's such a big deal. And especially right now, as this is a fledgling concept, we need our community, and being out there isolated is tough as a period coach. And you'll have questions. You know, you're going to have something that comes up and you're going to want to call and go, hey, have you ever seen this in a client? Like, it's just good to have community. Collaboration, of course. Again, I'll promote you, you promote me. You know, we should be working together in order to help grow and share this need. It's a need. It needs to get out there, and let's help each other do it, and let's support each other along the way. And it's fulfilling. This is an industry that can save lives. It can save relationships. It can save sanity. It can do so much. And I'm not exaggerating at all. I didn't go into this thinking I was going to save lives, but a couple of PMDD clients later who had attempted suicide, yeah. So you can actually save lives. And I'm not saying that's what you have to go out and do, but it might happen whether that's your intention or not. And even if that's not what happens and you just make people happier and healthier and more whole and in tune with their cycles and their wombs, that is huge. Like, that to me just, oh my God, what a glorious, beautiful world we would be in if that was true. Blah. Okay. So on your path to period coaching, we are looking at charting. This is where you're going to learn the lingo. You got to learn the phases, what they mean, what they're called, the vocabulary, how charting works. There's lots of different kinds, but you got to learn how to track and how to chart and what it all means. You're going to practice on yourself. And again, whether that's your menstrual cycle or the moon cycle that you're going to use as your anchor for your cyclical living, you're still going to practice it on yourself. You're going to try it. You're going to chart. You're going to experiment. You're going to play. You're going to have fun, because ultimately this is all a pleasure pursuit. It's how to turn things into pleasure. You're going to apply it to your business. You're going to expand that circle out so that you're using it in bigger places. Expand it on your business. Make sure your business is in flow, working with team, working with assistants, whatever it is. But you're going to work in your business that way. And then, of course, your clients, and by extension, the world, because your clients are going to talk to their friends and tell you how freaking awesome this is. You're going to have lots of clients. You could have thousands of clients. You know, really, we could expand this very large and worldwide. So the path to period coaching is a lot of education, a lot of experimentation and play, a lot of applying it practically. So business planning, life planning, practical application, and of course, working with your clients. So it is a long path if you do it like I did when there was zero information out there and no one was a period coach and none of this existed and you had to just build it all from scratch. I invite you to join the Period Coaching School. It's all of this knowledge. You benefit from the fact that I was a health coach. That was my first coaching gig. And I ended up with all period problem clients and, of course, my own. All of my period coaching clients had businesses and we started coaching their businesses. So then I ended up catching the eye of a business coach, a multi-seven-figure business coach who I worked as a business coach for while coaching my period clients, right? So I've done health coaching professionally. I've done business coaching professionally. I've done period coaching professionally. The only thing I haven't technically done is relationship coaching. But this is why I am uniquely positioned to create the school and why you can benefit from all of that. So you can jump in and everyone I've met along the way. We have guest teachers that talk about all of their obsessions, all of the things that they love. We have Lisa Henderson Jack talking about fertility awareness method. We have Katie Bresek talking about fertility. We just have an amazing array of guest teachers who come in and talk about the things that they know and that they love and that they work with and that they keep updated on, and you'll learn from the best. You'll learn from the incredible resources, and that's what it's all about, is being able to do all of this in a clear, straightforward, mapped out path versus what I had to do, which is just sort of cobble it all together over the years. So in the school, what we're going to do is run from charting and observing. So you're going to do Flow Freedom, which is a program that I have using the sensual system. So pleasure and figuring out what we love in our cycles and how to balance our hormones through pleasure. You're going to chart, you're going to observe. You're going to start to plan and flow. You're going to make lifestyle decisions, what you're going to eat, what candle you're going to light, what essential oil you're going to wear, what video you're going to watch, what yoga class you're going to take, what massage you're going to get, all of the senses, okay? And you're going to start planning your life with it, and you're start living in flow. And you'll have a mastermind regularly with the entire school that you can come to, obviously more than one, and chat and learn and ask questions and talk about things. How would you use this with a client? What would you guys do with a client? If I wanted to play with this with a client, what would you think of? You can have those conversations in these masterminds and really start thinking about that coaching and that bigger picture. Of course, asking questions for yourself as well. You'll educate, right? You will get an education. You'll learn from all of these people and myself. You will also do a certification presentation where you will educate us. And this is how we're going to learn, what questions to ask the doctor or what things we can do to alleviate these symptoms. We're educating each other, which makes it collaboration, right? We expect you to do a great job so that we can learn just as much as you expect us to do a great job so that you can learn. And it's all about that collaboration and helping each other and cheering each other on, which of course is going to empower all of us and our clients. And that just leads everyone to freedom, which high value on my list. But I love the idea of just flow freedom, lifestyle freedom, just being able to know and change and morph as you want and as you need. So come be free with me. I invite you to apply to the school. So we'll be opening up enrollment for the next class. You just have to apply, which is clicking the link below. It's a quick 3 questions. One of them is your name. The other one are really just share with me your ideas, your visions, why you think you would be a good student. But just be free, be honest, be brave in your answers. Don't hold back. And then we'll set up a 15-minute call and we'll chat. What questions do I have for you based on your application? What questions do you have for me about the school? If it's a good fit, then we'll invite you into the next class and you can jump in and get started. So I'd love to see you in our next class. Let's get through the application process, make sure it's a good fit for both of us, and then get you enrolled and started into our next year of period coaching school. I really am looking forward to this. I can't wait to welcome you in. I can't wait to have you as part of our community. Click the link and I'll see you inside.